Hello! Today we will be talking about / reviewing, whatever you like to call it, the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice. So this is going to be my full-fledged review, so there will be spoilers in it, and with the sequel out in theaters right now and doing crazy numbers at the box office, I figured there'd be no better time to talk about this film. This is a childhood film of mine, and I absolutely love this film, so don't expect a lot of criticisms from this review at all, because I just absolutely love it, and my next video will definitely be a review of Beetlejuice, because I did get a chance to see that in theaters as well. So anyway, without further ado, shall we begin? Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton in the titular role, and I believe he only has like 14 minutes of screen time in the film, which is wild, but I'm just gonna say it first outright. I think this movie is fantastic. I absolutely love this film, and this was one of my childhood movies, so I'm gonna have like such nostalgia for it, especially since I recently actually just rewatched it. It made me really appreciate the film even more, because I think it's absolutely just, it's a classic, and I love how rude it is for a kids like movie, because it was geared towards kids, even though like this film was definitely like it wasn't really kid friendly for a lot of the parts. But let's actually get into the plot of it. So if you don't know the plot of Beetlejuice, and I do want to say there will be spoilers in this review, so just a heads up about that, but if you don't know the plot of it, Adam and Barbara, they're the Maitlands. They live inside the big house, the iconic house that's actually on the cover and all that. And they have an accident. They die because they were driving off the bridge and a dog just stares at them, and then they go down, and then they pretty much figure out that they're stuck in the afterlife, or the netherworld as it's called in this one. And pretty much what it is they finally get a caseworker, because Tim Burton's zany, like, just concept of the afterlife is absolutely fantastic in this. It really pops, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And I gotta say, I think the sequel does keep the netherworld like within the same gist, which I absolutely love. But pretty much like they get this ad for say my name 3 times, Beetlejuice, and but the thing is he can't say it, and he pretty much is like, you can work with me if you want. I'll get these people out of the house, because these this new family moved in because the realtor have been absolutely nuts just trying to sell their house, because they just wanted to, like, she just wants to make the sale and all that. And pretty much what Beetlejuice is like, oh, I'll scare them out of your house, no issue. And he's like, just give me the word, just say my name 3 times and we got a deal. And then Lydia, the daughter, from well, I should say the stepmother and the father, but the father in real life we don't talk about anymore. If you don't know what happened, like, they kill him off in the sequel. That's not a spoiler, that's literally in the trailer, and that's just because of his real life things and all that. If you don't know, you can look it up. I don't really want to get into it at all, but you could definitely look it up to understand what happened and all that. But pretty much what it is he's like, come on, I'm the ghost with the most, let me work with you. And then they tried to be scary at first by using sheets, which, you know, that always works out every single time, no issue. But this time it didn't actually work for them. And I gotta say, like only Lydia could see them, because the mother, Delia, was just like, well, the stepmother, I should say, thought it was the TV and shut off the TV immediately. It was just like, wait, what? But what I really want to talk about with this film is just like the way that it shines when Burton really gets behind it, because I love like the practical effects and all that, and the way that they like contorted their faces and all that. It's definitely like, it scared me as a kid, but like it just. Like, the way that, like, just Tim Burton's style in general, I just absolutely love. And that Beetlejuice is just kind of camping out in Adam's model that they have up in the attic of the place and all that. And then pretty much ends with Beetlejuice saying, hey, nice effing model, after they banish him back down in there. And then they finally meet their caseworker, and their caseworker says the iconic line to never trust the living. But then she also tells him, don't trust Beetlejuice. Like, he's something else. He used to work with her and all that, and pretty much what it is he's just a rogue entity that loves to just cause mayhem and all that. But pretty much what happens is that they tried to scare him with the absolute famous and iconic Deo scene, but instead of working out that way, they realized that, hey, wait a second, we actually didn't scare them. Like, they actually were incredibly entertained by that, so we have to do something else. So they go back to the netherworld. Apparently, like, the time in the netherworld works very different than the time in the real world, and then Lydia pretty much decides that, like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and then she was gonna end up jumping from the roof, but then she ends up running into Beetlejuice, and then he's like, oh, I can scare them right out of here, just say my name 3 times in a row, and it'll be perfect. And long story short, she ends up doing that, and then he just wrecks havoc, because this isn't like the musical version, like, he's just cruel in this one, and then pretty much the deal was, he's like, I'll get him out of the house, but you gotta marry me so I can go to the real world, and he's like, it's not creepy, it's like a green card thing, and pretty much they come up with that deal and all that, and when he tries to marry her, like, they summon Barbara and Adam, and they, like, just start aging immediately, because, I guess, being sucked back into the real world while you're a ghost, it's bad for you. And then, Otho, like, Otho was great in this. I did hear that he passed away, which is sad. Would have loved to see him in the sequel. But what pretty much happens is, at the end of this, is, like, Barbara ends up, getting transported to, Mars, because, no, Saturn, or whatever, Jupiter. And, she ends up riding the sandworm back into the real world, and it eats Beetlejuice, and then they have that little scene at the end, the shake, 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 Sonora, shake your body line, and then what happens is that pretty much, like, Beetlejuice just has his waiting number, and then he sees the voodoo guy next to him, and then he takes that instead, and then he throws his number at him, and he's like, ah, sucker, and then the voodoo guy puts this thing on his head, and he's like, and then he ends up shrinking and all that, and honestly, like, this movie is such a good time, and I absolutely love this film. If I had to give it, like, I'd probably give this movie a 9 out of 10. Like, it's that nostalgia fact for me. Like, I absolutely just love this movie. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. But anyway, that was my review of Beetlejuice. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I can keep making more of these. If you have any video requests, please leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to reply. As of now, I have a few video requests and those are being made, but if you do have any others, just let me know. As long as within my capability of making it, I will be making it. And if you saw the first Beetlejuice, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's just okay? Do you think it's overrated? Or do you think it's perfectly rated? Because I am kind of curious how other people feel about this film. You know how I feel about it. I've just been talking about it for the last, like, 6 minutes, so you definitely know how I feel about it. But anyway, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye!